That caramel is lovely. So is the shortbread, so is the chocolate. The whole thing is delicious. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to maybe click on the thumbs up. Hit the notification bell if you don't want to miss out on any videos. It just gives you a gentle reminder of when the next ones come out. The first thing we're going to be doing is to make the shortbread. Love shortbread. Homemade shortbread is the best. All it takes is 3 simple ingredients. We've got 250 grams of plain flour, 75 grams of sugar. I just heard my belly rumbling just now, so it's so looking forward to this shortbread. One of my favourites. And 175 grams of butter. That's it. Real easy to make. So we have our butter, so we just put that into a mixing bowl. You can just cream the butter and the sugar together with an electric mix, or you can do what I'm just going to do is just mix it with a wooden spoon. So you literally just use the back of the spoon and push down the butter to kind of soften it a little bit. Right, and then we'll just add a bit of sugar, and then you mix the two together. Again, just squash it down with the back of the spoon. And you see all the sugar is kind of going into the butter. You don't really see much sugar anymore. So I'm just going to add some of the flour. Can push it down with a spoon. And we'll add some more flour. You don't need to mix it too much, just a little bit to get the kind of flour mixed in with the butter and sugar. So I've just softened a little bit of butter in the microwave. So I'm just going to add this because it was a little bit dry for my liking. And then I'll start mixing this together with my hand. Right, so you're just pushing down and you see it's all starting to combine together. And you know it's good when it's kind of coming away from the side of the bowl. And you just keep squashing it together. Squeeze it in your hand. So it kind of almost sticks to itself now at this stage. That's good when it clears the bowl. You can just give it a squeeze with your hand. So if you can imagine, there's your dish and you want it just a little bit bigger all the way around. I'm not one of these people that are a perfectionist. I just do things rough when it comes to things like this. You push it down like that. And then if you just cut down, hope you can see that okay. So that once you've cut down like that, you can use that to come around the corner. So again, I'll do it this side. Just cut down a little bit. Whoops. And then that can go around. And that's how you kind of get the edges. Doesn't matter exactly. Unless you like to do things with more care than what I'm doing right now, you go ahead. Now we're going to put our dough in there. And you're going to push down and spread it out. I like to push it down with my knuckles, but you can do it with the palm of your hand if you prefer. Hope you can see that okay. Or you can do it with your fingers like that. It's up to you. You want to just prick this with a fork. You can always cut this down a bit if you wanted to. The baking sheet just makes it much easier to take out the tin afterwards. And it stops it sticking to your dish. There, just lets you see a bit more of what I did there. I'm going to cover this with cling film, put it in the fridge for about half an hour. I'm going to turn my oven on to 180 degrees. Yeah, I'm going to turn my oven on 180 degrees to preheat. And then I'm going to put it in the oven for 20 minutes roughly. And I'll show you what that looks like when it comes out. And then we make the lovely caramel, which I'll show you in a minute. So as you can see, this is the shortbread. That looks really delicious. I'm so looking forward to eating this. But what I'll do while it's still warm, I let it cool down a little bit, so it's just warm now rather than boiling hot. Cut this into 3 along this way. It's nice and soft. And then the same this way. They're just rough squares. You can do as big or small as you like. You can do long finger shapes, whatever you like. It's your shortbread. Now we're going to make a lovely caramel to go with the next part of this Millionaire Shortbread. So come into the kitchen with me and I'll show you how it's done. So into a pot we're going to add some butter and we're going to add some sugar. And we'll put this on a medium heat and let this start to melt. So the next thing after you put your butter and sugar in is you want to put this beautiful condensed milk. I just love this. You can have fun with this. Love the way it pours and what it looks like. I can do patterns while I'm pouring. I'm just such a big child. Let's do a love heart. If it looks like a love heart. I love Millionaire Shortbread. So I'll just get a spoon to kind of scrape the last bit out. You don't want to be wasting any of this. And of course, the fun bit of this, if you want to get rid of the last bit on your spoon, why not just eat it? I'll probably be taking all my lipstick off, but I don't care. Tasty. Right, so you just mix this all together and allow this to melt. So I've got it on a medium heat at the moment. Once the butter melts, you can turn it up to high and bring it to the boil. Look how lovely that colour is because you're using the brown sugar. So in here I've got 100 grams of butter, 100 grams of light muscovado, if I'm pronouncing that right, sugar, but any brown sugar would be fine, and the can of condensed milk. See how lovely this is looking when it all kind of mixes together. So now that's mixed well, I'm going to turn the heat up to high so we can bring it to the boil. So you keep stirring this. Oh, I wish you could smell this through the camera. It smells amazing. And you will get little dark brown bits. That's just the sugar that you're scraping off the bottom of the pot, and that's perfectly normal. Make sure that you do get the edges. Kind of mix around and then get the edges. It's going a lovely colour. It's really nice. So as you could see a minute ago when it was on high, it was really bubbling, and now I've turned it down. You just get the odd bubble here and there. So it just slowly cooks away, and after about that 5 or 10 minutes, you'll get this beautiful kind of caramelly colour, and it's nice and thick like that. So we will go now over to our shortbread and we'll put it on. Love this. Can't beat homemade caramel. So this is our delicious shortbread, and now we're going to put this beautiful caramel. Look at that. Both homemade, and you just can't beat it. So I'll just pour it on. Just a fun thing to make. Now, just be careful if you do decide to try and lick the spoon. Make sure it's cooled down a little bit and just maybe check it with your finger briefly. Because the last thing you want to do is burn your mouth. But it does taste delicious. Oh yes, this is nice. So together with the shortbread and the chocolate, oh wow, just amazing. So I have some white chocolate here that I melted in the microwave. Or another way of melting your chocolate, because I did this with the milk chocolate just to show you, is have some hot water on your cooker and you just put a glass bowl or a mixing bowl on top of that, and the steam from the water will heat your bowl up and make your chocolate all melted. So it doesn't really matter whatever your Oh, sorry, whatever your personal preference is. That's a bit of a mouthful. Right, so we're going to go over here to pour the milk chocolate onto your caramel. Now the caramel is cooled, so we'll just spread this over the caramel. Now, I remember I cut the paper earlier so I could show you what the shortbread looks like. But of course, I wasn't thinking properly because that paper should have been a bit taller so that I could get this out easier. But as you could see, I haven't left myself much room to hold on to the paper to pull it out. So I might have a bit of trouble with this later, but you'll see if you keep watching how I'm going to get out of this. Now, the other thing, you can leave it like that, or you can put a little bit of white chocolate. Now you can kind of just sprinkle it like that and leave it like that. Or another way around it is, if you get a cocktail stick, or I've got a pointy knife, a steak knife, and just swirl around and swirl the milk chocolate in that to make some kind of fancy design. You can be particular and make symmetrical shapes, or you can just be like me and just whirl it around. And then this will harden the chocolate, and then we'll take it out. So I'll just put some on the edges as well. You could even go one step further and put dark chocolate in it and swirl that around and see what happens. And as well as the delicious caramel, licking that off the wooden spoon, you can also do this. And I'm sure the kids or any other adults who are big kids would love to help you with this part. So now maybe I've got chocolate lipstick instead of pink lipstick. Like, oh my God, I can't get my words right. Instead of pink lipstick, like I had earlier, I probably got chocolate lipstick. I don't know what I look like here, but anyway, I'm enjoying this. So the milk chocolate, I used 200-gram bar of that, and I probably used about 30 grams, maybe 50 grams of the white chocolate just to mix in. So I'm looking forward to taking this out, slicing it up and showing you what this really looks like. So as you can see, this paper, there's not much for me to grab hold of. There's a bit there and a little bit here, so I don't know how this is going to go, but I'll try my best. What I might do is just put my knife in there to kind of separate the paper to the glass. I've had this in the fridge to kind of help the chocolate harden. So I'll try and see if I can do it this way, but really learn by my mistake and make sure you've got plenty of the paper. Oh, it's coming. Something's happening. There we go. Kind of managed to get a spatula underneath. There we go. It's come out. So let's take the paper off. And I'll just get my spatula underneath and allow myself to take the paper away. Look at that. Now, this has hardened, I think, on the outside. It's probably still a little bit soft in the middle, but you know what? I really can't wait for this because it's so delicious. You obviously saw the top, but can you see the side? With the layer of the shortbread, the caramel, and then the chocolate on top. Delicious. So as you can see here, I did cut the shortbread earlier, but now I'll roughly cut up the same as where I made those cuts before. So yeah, so roughly here. And well, you see my head at the moment, but that's okay. So there. So you can still see that gooey bit in the middle there. So I'm looking forward to trying this delicious shortbread, caramel, oops, a bit fell off, and the chocolate. So here goes. That caramel is lovely. So is the shortbread, so is the chocolate. The whole thing is delicious. So I hope you enjoy many more of my lovely videos. I know I'm certainly enjoying the food that I'm making for them. So thanks very much for watching.